Hey, love. Welcome back to Blue Lotus Vibes, where we bloom a little harder every single day. Scene 1. Held hostage by silence. For years, I was emotionally held hostage by the silence of someone who hurt me. I replayed what they did, what they said, what they didn't say, hoping that one day they'd reach back and undo the damage with 3 simple words: I'm sorry. But the longer I waited, the heavier it got. I didn't know I had built a prison out of their absence, and in that cell I called it loyalty, called it patience, called it healing, but it was just pain waiting on permission to leave. Scene 2. The ego never apologizes. Some people won't apologize, not because you weren't worth it, but because their ego is allergic to accountability. They will rewrite history in their own mind just to avoid facing the mirror. And baby, I had to stop knocking on doors that had already been slammed shut. I had to stop whispering forgiveness into voids that never echoed back. I had to learn that closure doesn't come from their mouth, it comes from my decision. Scene 3. Dear me, I'm sorry. So, I stopped waiting for their apology, and I gave one to myself. I wrote it with trembling hands and tear-stained pages. I said, I'm sorry for the way I let people dim your shine. I'm sorry for letting someone else's inability to love you become your self-worth story. I forgave myself for not knowing better, for staying, for hoping, for breaking quietly. And then I signed it, with love, from the you who finally remembered her value. Scene 4. Forgiveness without permission. I used to believe forgiveness meant letting them off the hook, that if I forgave, I was saying it was okay. But I learned that forgiveness ain't for them. It's a release for me. It's not about pretending it didn't happen. It's about deciding that it no longer gets to control how I move, how I breathe, or how I love again. You don't need their remorse to reclaim your joy. You don't need their guilt to confirm your pain. You can release them and still hold yourself with dignity. Scene 5. Dancing with my freedom. The day I stopped needing that apology was the day I danced with freedom. I didn't need their words to free me. I needed my decision. The moment I let go of that emotional debt they would never repay, I felt the weight lift, and in that space, joy had room to grow again. Laughter came back in a whisper. Self-love returned like a sunrise, and I realized I was always the key. I just forgot I was holding it. Hey, love as a bonus. We have a plus scene 6. I choose peace over proof, so no, I never got the apology, no letter, no text, no tears, but I don't need it, because I no longer seek peace through their guilt. I don't chase closure in broken mouths. I chose peace over proof, and in doing that, I gave myself something no apology could ever offer: liberation. So to anyone still waiting, hear me when I say this. You don't need their sorry to be whole. You're allowed to heal. You're allowed to bloom. You're allowed to be free. Anyway, you didn't need the apology. You needed the release. And you gave that to yourself. You did that. Now walk in your peace. This has been your moment of power with Blue Lotus Vibes. If this healed even a piece of you, share it, tag it, speak it. Let someone else know closure is something you choose. Until next time, protect your peace.